Rant. I'm gonna say this is a rant here. Um, there is a certain person out there that I have known for quite some time, and I'm quite upset with the situation that's going on. She is a female, of course, and she lives over in Australia, and I've known her for a while. But now here's a real kick in the pants. Everything was going good until a few days ago, and we were chatting, through the mobile phone, and everything was fine until the next day when I got a text from her stating that she was mad because apparently I had unfriended her off Facebook, which I did not do. I mean, I just updated our relationship status to being boyfriend and girlfriend, but unfortunately she for some reason was very animate about, no, you blocked, or you didn't block me, but you had unfriended me and this and that. And she wound up blocking me on Facebook. And she also blocked my sister, her husband, blocked them as well. Well, when I talked to her here the other day, she was saying that I'm no good, I'm a liar, and all those sort of things. Well, the thing that really gets me is she's calling me a liar. Well, she claimed that she was going to send me a package, and this has been about 2 months ago, maybe 2.5, 3 months ago. I still haven't received it yet. She kept saying that it's stuck in Detroit, and she contacted him several times to find out what was going on, and she said she got mad, blew up, and said it was supposed to be here. Well, I was supposed to receive it from what she said about 3 days ago, and guess what? I still never received it. So I have doubts that ever happened. Um, and she was saying that I'm a liar and a user and everything else. Well, she had told me that there was a house fire where a friend of hers had passed away and she was pregnant with twins. And that, they had died in a house fire. Well, I found out that there was no house fire. And that was her excuse on why she didn't, come here to the States to see me. She told me she was at the airport with her daughters, which she was claiming for a while, were our daughters. And I asked her, well, could you send me a picture, of you and the daughters and this and that? And she told me, well, yeah, I will, but, not right now because, I want to make sure I catch the plane. And she claimed she wanted to plug in the phone. Okay, that's fine and dandy. Well, then she claimed that, she didn't have time to do it and this and that. Well, I was waiting and waiting and waiting. And she told me, oh, excuse me, that it was supposed to be a direct flight from Australia to Detroit. Well, I was checking up online on what the flights were, what times, their departures, arrivals, and this and that. Well, come to find out, from what I had found out, it goes from Australia to California, then to Detroit. Well, she had called me up that time, about, let's see, 9:30, 10 o'clock, somewhere in that area, and said, alright, we're here in Detroit, just got off the plane, waiting for our luggage, and she had to go through customs. Well, what got me kind of confused about that part there was the fact of when she got to California, she had to switch to a different plane. So wouldn't that mean that she'd have to have gone through customs in California, not here in Detroit, Michigan? Well, it made no sense, but she said she was on her way up and this and that. Well, I didn't hear from her for almost 12 hours, 14 hours, something like that, and she had contacted me stating that her and her female friend that had met her downstate were too tired and they didn't want to drive at night. Hey, that's completely understandable. And she said she was on her way and she had to wait for her daughter to get out of the shower, and she was going to get in the shower as well. I'm sorry, the girls were supposed to be in the tub, and they're going to be getting out. She's going to get in the shower, grab something to eat, and leave. I'm like, okay, cool. She's in Michigan, so this is going to be great. I'm finally going to be able to meet her. She told me that she had reservations at a local hotel here with conjoined rooms. You know, her daughters are going to have the one room, and she's going to have me come up, you know, and spend time with her in her room. Well, she wound up calling me, you know, about 4 hours, 5 hours later, and she told me I'm an hour away. I'm like, awesome, cool, she's here. So I'm waiting for her to contact me back, and it was like 3, 4, 5 hours down the road. I haven't heard nothing from her. So I turned around and I called the local hotel she said she was going to stay at, and there's nobody there by her name. And it's like, okay, what's going on here? You know, not even no reservations under her name. Well, I think it was like the next day, one of her friends on Facebook contacted me, you know, saying, you know, Cassie wasn't doing too good. She was, you know, feeling sick, and, you know, some bad things had happened. Well, it's like, okay, you know, things do happen. And I said, well, she's here in Michigan, right? And she goes, no, she's here in Australia. So I'm like, okay, well, what the fuck's going on? You know, she said she was on the plane. She said she was here in Michigan, and she wasn't. So I was kind of pissed about that because I was lied to. And I talked to her a little bit there, and she told me that, you know, there was a house fire and her female friend had passed away. I was like, okay, well, what the hell here? If that happened, why didn't you let me know in the first place? She didn't have no answer for me. And every time I questioned her about it, she would always either beat around the bush, or she'd switch the subject, which she wouldn't talk about it. Which, you know, it pissed me off. It really did. You know, because she claimed she loved me, and she wanted to move here and be with me, and yet she hadn't. So I was like, well, what the hell is going on here? There's other times she had lied to me, stating that when she was at her cousin's, that her daughters were there. Well, she kept saying, you know, I want you to meet my daughters, I want you to meet my daughters, I want you to meet my daughters. And they were calling me American Dad, which I thought was kind of funny because of the TV show. And we were Skyping one night, and she goes, well, hold on, I'm going to cover up the laptop to where they can't see if the light's on, which is fine. But, oh, just to let you guys know, it is 4:47 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. So I'm kind of tired, but I want to get this rant out of the way. Well, unfortunately, after about 2-3 minutes, I got disconnected on Skype. So I'm like, okay, what the hell? You know, I'm waiting, and she didn't respond back to me. She didn't tell me, you know, well, I'm sorry, you know, Skype got booted, and things like that. So once again, you know, I'm getting pissed off, like, okay, what's going on here? There are several different times she said, well, the girls are here, they can't wait to meet you, I'll call you back at this time here, we'll Skype at this time, and it never happened. She was always saying, well, I'll get back a hold of you in about 10 minutes, half hour, whatever the case is, and she would never get back a hold of me. Well, the thing that really has me pissed off now is, you know, she was supposed to be here last week, and it never happened. And I'm extremely pissed about it because my nieces and my nephew were really excited about finally getting to meet her and see her. Well, so was I, of course, but it didn't happen. You know, they got their hearts broke, they're upset about it, you know, and things like that. Well, the day that she was supposed to have been here, she had IMO'd with me, which is a texting and call app that you can get on smartphones. And I had her on speakerphone because the kids want to talk to her. Well, my nephew hit his sister, which, you know, you're not supposed to do that kind of stuff regardless. And this particular female that was supposed to have come here, you know, was on speakerphone with me, and she made the comment, if you hit your sister again, I'm going to whip your little ass. Well, this woman had never met my nieces or my nephew before, except, over Skype or IMO, whatever the case may be. So, for her to say something like that, there's no reason for it at all, whatsoever. I don't give a shit who the fuck you are. You do not talk about my nieces and my nephews that way. And it pissed off their mother, which I can't say I blame her one bit. I was a little upset about that myself. But my main thing about this here is she claims she loved me, she wanted to be with me, and she even brought to me a couple times that she wanted to get married to me. Well, if that's the case, why fucking lie? Why say you are getting ready to board, you're in Detroit, you're on your way up, you'll be here in about an hour, when you didn't even fucking leave? And her friend that had contacted me through Facebook had told me, a few things about her that I don't think she had the right to say. I'm not going to get into it because, it is a private situation, so I'm not going to be getting in the middle of it. But still, the point being is, what the fuck? I'm sorry, you shouldn't be pulling that kind of stuff. You get someone, all excited and happy about coming, and you're not even doing what you say you're going to do. This person does have a YouTube channel, but I'm not going to give the name out. But she's saying that honesty is the best policy, which I agree, it is. And she can't even be honest. She says she's tired of people, lying, treating her like a dog and an animal and all this other bullshit. But yet then she turns around and does the same thing. I heard from several different people that have known her for a long time. I'm talking 3, 4, 5, 6 years, saying she's got split personality disorder, which now since I think back, I have to agree. She does have a split, a personality disorder. But to make promises that you're not going to keep. When she told me about the house fire, I'm like, oh my god, baby, I'm so sorry. Is there anything I could do? And this and that. And if you look through my other videos, you'll see a video where, I ate a light bulb. Not the full thing. I just, broke the light bulb, and I took a piece of glass and I ate it. Well, she's seen the video, and she freaked out like, oh my god, baby, don't be doing that. You're gonna hurt yourself, and this and that, etc., etc. And I told her, okay, I won't do it again. The person I did the video for, he never heard tell of anyone actually doing it in real life, so I did it to show that it could be done. I mean, there's a trick to doing it where you don't get hurt, and I know what that little trick is. But she asked me not to do it, and I said, okay, I won't do it no more. And that was the 4th when I spoke to her last, and everything was fine, which would have been this past Friday, which would have been Saturday in Australia. Well, everything was fine that day. I mean, perfectly fine. And then that Friday, that's when everything went to fucking hell. And, she's accusing me of being, a liar, unfriending her from Facebook, which I'd have no reason to do that because at the time we were dating. I don't know if once I upgraded our relationship from being friends to, being, boyfriend and girlfriend, if that removed the friendship part. I don't know. I don't really fucking care. But all I know is earlier today, she is cutting me down, treating me like shit. I guess her female friend who had spoke to me before was butting her fucking nose into it. And matter of fact, after she had blocked me, the one that was supposed to come here to be with me, I'm going to read what it was that she had stated on Facebook about me. If I could find it here. Yes, right here. It states, warning to anybody Yes, IMS, so it's all in caps. Anybody that is friends with me, Dale Bowerman, and she gives my city and state, is no longer a friend of mine. Do yourself a favor, delete yourself permanently from my Facebook and my life. He is nothing but a control freak who broke my heart. Okay, she's saying broke her heart. I'm sorry, she's the one that broke up with me. She's the one that accused me of removing the friendship status off of Facebook. But yet, the day before, she was, oh, honey, I love you, and all this other shit. And where she's getting the control freak part from, I don't know. She had made a comment in one of her videos. I'm not going to mention the name of the video or who it is. She stated that when her friend was supposed to have died there in the house fire, she was told, oh, don't worry about it, it'll be okay, she's not suffering no more, don't be all boo-hoo-hoo, crying all shit. And I told her, honey, if you're sad, cry. If you're upset, cry. Do what you feel you should have to do, not what other people are telling you. Well, I'm sorry, if that's being a control freak, well, I guess I am. But with me telling her, don't listen to what she says. Do what you feel you want to do. How is that being a control freak? I mean, yeah, I kept asking her, well, when do I get to meet your daughters? I've asked her that several times, and she kept coming up with, excuses. Well, they're in bed sleeping right now, wait till they get up, it is the weekend, or when they get home from school, we will Skype or IMO and you'll get to meet them. Well, guess what? That never happened. So, as far as I'm concerned, she's trying to say that I'm the bad person and all this. So, fuck it. I'm done. I am not going to deal with this bullshit no more. I have no reason to. And she also brought up the fact, too, about, my roommate, Cass. And she doesn't even know who the fuck she was. She's only seen her a few times when we Skyped, and that's about it. But, I'm cutting this off now. I'm done with my rant. But I just feel that you guys should know. Matter of fact, I'm going to tell you who that person's name is. Her name is Cassandra Campilio. She's the one that had started all this bullshit with me, saying that I'm a bad person and all this other shit. Well, fuck it. I'm done with people fucking with me, saying shit about me behind my back, like she's saying that everyone's doing with her. When she told me that her friend died with the house fire, I was upset. And I told her, you need to talk to me. Text me, call me, whatever the case was. And she didn't. But then I found out that this house fire, or apartment fire, whatever the hell it was, never really happened. So if you're going to lie to me, make sure that you put some truth into it to where it sounds believable, and if someone looks it up, they're going to find out if it's true or not. But saying that there's a house fire, fuck that. There was no house fire. I did my research on it, and there was no house fire where she said there was. But that's going to be enough of my rant for tonight. So you guys have yourself a good time, and see you later.